What's good? It's your boy Jay. That's me. Let's dive into night one of the 2024 WWE draft that occurred on Smackdown from April the 26th, 2024. A pretty okay show. So we kick the show off with Paul Heyman. He's backstage with Kayla Braxton. So Paul Heyman tells Kayla Braxton that there are no rumors about Roman Reigns. There are facts. He says Roman Reigns has withdrawn from eligibility from the 2024 draft. It's not a negative, it's a positive. He says Roman Reigns built Smackdown since the pandemic. Roman is the biggest star in the industry. Paul Heyman asked why would Roman hog the number one draft pick and spotlight when he won't be returning in the immediate future? That is not what a real tribal chief would do. Instead, the pressure is on Nick Aldis. If Roman Reigns is not the first draft pick, who is the first draft pick? Paul Heyman says that he's intrigued, and then he walks away. So this is fine. We also then cut to Jackie Redmond. She's inside the Performance Center. She says last year Grayson Waller wished he would be drafted, and now he's a tag team champion. Then from that we go to Corey Graves. He's in the middle of the ring with two tables behind him. He welcomes everyone to the draft. He said that he's going to be moderating the contract signing between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles for the undisputed WWE Championship at Backlash. So AJ comes out first, and then Cody Rhodes comes out to a massive ovation. So the fans chant Cody. AJ, he reads to the contract. So AJ gets on the mic and says before he signs it, he says they have two Georgia boys for the first time for the biggest prize in the game. AJ understands why they can boo him, but they have to know that he does not respect LA Knight, and he got under his skin. That's why he lost at WrestleMania. But what happened was he got his composure back, and he realized that he's phenomenal. AJ says he beat LA Knight to earn the right to fight Cody Rhodes at Backlash. But unlike LA Knight, he respects Cody. They've been down the same roads, and they've proved themselves outside of WWE, a.k.a. New Japan, which was great. I'm glad he mentioned that there. AJ said he's willing to believe that the same man who gave him advice a long time ago gave him the same advice. How to be their own man, and he goes by the name of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. So Dusty chant breaks out. AJ said that he learned a lot from Cody's pops. He was a good man. He taught him how to carry himself and how to carry the weight of a champion. So AJ then looks at the belt and says he looks at it, and the weights of this isn't just of that of leather and gold. And at Backlash, they're going to see if Cody can actually carry it. So AJ signs the contract. So then Cody gets on the mic. Cody asks the crowd what they want to talk about. He says they can talk about respect. There's no locker room that you'll find where every single person, and they all respect AJ Styles. He said last week, he said AJ with the modern day excellence of execution. They respect each other, but at Backlash, that'll be put aside. And he thinks AJ is implying that he can't carry the championship. He can't carry the weight of the championship. He says the person who trained him once told him that it's not about winning the title, it's about keeping it. Cody says he respects AJ, but when he signs it at Backlash, no matter how phenomenal AJ is, this is not a dream match for him, but a must-win. And Cody signs the contract. Both guys basically shake hands. AJ Styles tells Cody, it was a beautiful thing to see him finish the story and get the championship, but it's a shame that his title reign is going to end at Backlash, and then both guys shake hands. So that was pretty cool. I like that. It was very professional and really good shit there, because for far too long we've seen way too many contract signings go awry, where it just become a massive table spot and that's it. So thankfully that didn't happen here. So Cody then walks up the ramp. Triple H comes out. Him and Cody, they shake hands. And then Triple H welcomes everybody to the first round of the 2024 WWE Draft. Triple H says champions are protected and Cody will be staying on SmackDown. He thought maybe Cody could read the SmackDown picks and Triple H will do the Raw picks, which was, to me, was pointless. Again, to me, this was kind of a waste of time. So, the first draft pick, SmackDown picked Bianca Belair. Raw got Jey Uso. SmackDown got Carmelo Hayes. And Raw got Seth Rollins. Again, this was a waste of time because we knew all three of those, Bianca, Rollins, and Jey, they were going to all stay on their respective brands. Really and truthfully, who should have gotten called up should have been nothing but really NXT talent and certain talents from Raw. That's really what should have happened. I don't like how they just waste draft picks and saying, oh, well, this person's going to stay on this brand right here. Like, we already knew Bianca Belair was going to stay on SmackDown. That's a waste of fucking time, so why do it? So Carmelo comes out. He gets on the mic. He tells Cody that ever since Cody won the title, he kept saying, if you come for the king, you best not miss. The thing about him is when he shoots, he doesn't miss. And as the first round draft pick, he can't think of any better way than to shoot a shot on SmackDown and shoot it against Cody. So Cody then tells Carmelo that the fans don't want to see him in action tonight, do they? So the fans cheer. Cody says, what if he forgot his gear? And the fans boo. Cody says he didn't forget his gear. And the championship for him means, and the championship for him, that means that Carmelo is on. So then they shake hands, and that's going to be the main event. Okay, this is fine, I guess. Moving on from that, first match of the night, Legado del Fantasma versus the LWO. It was Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. The LWO, they get the win. Dragon Lee gets the win via the Project Dragon. So then post-match, the LWO, they celebrate, but then it's cut short because Santos Escobar and Electra Lopez, they show up. So Santos gets on the mic and says he's a man of many things, but a liar he is not. And when he said he didn't attack Dragon Lee before WrestleMania 40, he meant it. He said Electra has been working for weeks to track down the security footage for that evening. He tells Ray what he's about to see. He'll find it very interesting. So then we see security footage of Carlito attacking Dragon Lee from behind, and he's throwing him into a garage door. So, back in the ring, Carlito pushes Ray down. He attacks Dragon Lee from behind, and then Carlito hits the backstabber on Dragon Lee, and then Zelina Vega throws her shoe at Carlito, and then Carlito bounces out. So, again, this is fine. This actually makes sense. It took forever to do this shit. It took forever. This took way too long. This should have been done weeks ago, but it is what it is. This really should have been done even before WrestleMania. But finally, it's paid off. Carlito has officially turned heel, and it actually makes sense. I'm here for it. So this is good stuff. Braun Breaker defeated Cedric Alexander. So he wins via the spear. So this was nice. Braun's going to be going to Raw, basically, which is actually kind of good. So Braun got a really good deal. I would love to see him on SmackDown, but with Roman still there, even though Roman's going to be basically being free agency, I'd love to see Braun as a Paul Heyman guy. And he probably will whenever the Bloodline story is over with officially. I'm pretty sure Braun Breaker is going to be the next Paul Heyman guy for sure. That's a fact. Moving on. So Tiffany Stratton, no, my bad. Nick Aldis, he's backstage. He leaves his office. Tiffany Stratton, she stops Nick Aldis. She tells him that she dropped Naomi and Bayley last week when she asked her match against Bayley. Nick Aldis says it's not Tiffany time on his watch, and that he's going to send her to the back of the line until someone gave him the idea of having Tiffany Stratton against Naomi tonight. It's going to be a rematch. The winner of that will face Bayley at Backlash. Tiffany asks, whose stupid idea was that? And so Bayley comes in, and then Tiffany tells Bayley that she can be at ringside for her win tonight. Okay, cool. Moving on from that, Michelle McCool and Tori Wilson, they come out. That was pretty cool. They go over the second round draft picks. Randy Orton staying on SmackDown. Braun Breaker's moving to Raw. Nia Jax is moving to SmackDown. Ugh. And Liv Morgan staying on Raw. Okay, cool. That's fine. Again, all that to me is just a waste of time. Braun going on Raw is fine. Hopefully Baron Corbin can be drafted to Raw. I think that would be good, actually. Moving on. So, Paul Heyman, he's backstage. So, in comes a black SUV. Paul Heyman stands there for a few seconds. He apologizes. He opens the door, and out comes Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga. Solo asks Heyman if the bloodline's been drafted, and Paul Heyman tells him not yet. So I ask him to give him all the details. Paul Heyman says Roman is excluded from the draft. Solo is adding new members to the bloodline, and with all due respect, no one knows what they're getting when they draft the bloodline. So Tama Tonga then steps in and Solo asks Heyman to repeat what he said one more time. And then out of nowhere, worthless ass, fat ass Kevin Owens attacks Tama Tonga. But it's broken up by officials. Continuing on, so Kelly Braxton, she's in front of the ramp. She introduces Bianca Belair. So Kayla congratulates her for being the first overall draft pick. Bianca says at Backlash, she and Jade will take on the Kabuki Warriors for the women's tag team championships. Bianca says she hopes Jade gets drafted to SmackDown on Monday, and she says Jade is the perfect person to help her take out Damage Control. Bianca says once they take the titles away from them, the Kabuki Warriors won't have a reason to show up on SmackDown. So then Asuka and Kairi, they come out. Everyone argues. Jade comes out. And then they're both face-to-face, and they're still arguing. Then from that, we get a fight scene from Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga. They're still brawling through the crowd and everything. And then Randy Orton comes out to make the save. So Orton attempts to go for an RKO on Solo. Solo gets out of dodge. And the officials separate both teams. All right, that's fine, I guess. Again, I'm not a fan of lame-ass Kevin Owens. I'm just not. I don't know. This is fine, I guess. The Dudley Boys, they were out next. That was great. Good to see them. So we got ECW chants that broke out. We want table chants broke out as well. They wore their Dudley glasses, which was great. I love that. That was awesome. So LA Knight, he's staying on SmackDown. Ricochet staying on Raw. The Bloodline, they're basically staying on SmackDown. And then Sheamus is staying on Raw. Okay, cool. That was round 3. All right. Moving on from that, Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi. It was a no contest. Nia Jax gets involved. She beats the shit out of Bayley. And she also took out, I think, Naomi as well. So Tiffany Stratton, she did what she did last week. The prettiest moonsault ever to both women. And it's going to be a triple threat at Backlash, which I knew all along. I hate this shit. No, I despise triple threats. No. But it is what it is. We all saw this coming a mile away. It was predictable as hell. Moving on. So the Street Profits and BFAB, they're backstage. So Dawkins is wearing a Bengals NFL jersey. So Byron Saxton comes in, and BFAB tells Byron that next week they'll become the new WWE Tag Team Champions. So Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, they come in. And Grayson Waller tells Dawkins that they're champions. Something that the Bengals know nothing about. Lashley steps in, and as he does, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, they walk away. Okay. Moving on. Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they're outside the arena. So we hear some commotion. So Karrion then brings the camera behind him. The Final Testament are beating the shit out of the New Catch Republic, which is fucking awesome. So that's great. Then Karrion Kross says they'll continue to rule SmackDown or Raw. It doesn't matter to them. Moving on from that, Teddy Long and JBL, they came out next for the round 4 draft picks. AJ staying on SmackDown. The Alpha Academy, they're staying on Raw, which is Chad Gable, Otis, Akira Tozawa, and Maxine Dupree. Andrade's moving to SmackDown. And Kiana James, my girl, Miss 401k, she's going to Raw, which is great. I love this. So we cut to NXT. We cut to Florida. So Jackie Redmond, she's with Kiana James. Kiana James tells Jackie that it means the world to her, but she knows that every decision she's made has brought her to this moment. Kiana James says she's ready to show Raw that she's the 1%. So Shawn Michaels comes in to congratulate her. That's pretty cool. I like that. But again, my problem with this show, with this draft, is that there was only 2 picks from NXT. We should have had way more. We should have had at least 7 or 8 picks from NXT. At least. Ilya. I mean, you could have done Ilya. You could have done Dijak. You could have done Joe Gacy and others. There's so many you could have done. I don't know why they didn't do this shit, but only 2 out of 4-round draft picks. You get 2 NXT superstars, just Carmelo Hayes and Kiana James. Come on, man. But I guess we'll probably get a whole lot more on Raw. But NXT superstars should have been all over this show, really, if we're being honest. Like, everybody should have stayed on their respective brands like we knew they were. Like, all their top stars should have stayed on their selective brands, and you should have gotten nothing but Raw guys going to SmackDown and certain guys and girls from NXT coming to Raw or SmackDown. That's all the draft should have been, really. Moving on. So, Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Nick Aldis. He tells her that he feels good about their selection. The future is bright, and he can't wait for the new recruits to show up. Aldis then announces 2 matches that are going to take place at Backlash. So Bayley's going to be in a triple threat match, which I mentioned before. And Teddy Long comes in and he announces it's going to be the Bloodline. So Sikoa and Tama Tonga versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. Okay, cool, that's fine. All that was going to be predictable anyway. Main event, Cody Rhodes defeats Carmelo Hayes via the Crossroads. In a fine, decent little, I think it was like a 10 or 12 minute match. Pretty good little stuff. Carmelo is going to be a star on the main roster. I could easily see him being either the U.S. champion or Intercontinental champion for sure. He'll probably be U.S. champion in due time. So post-match, Cody celebrates on the top rope. He then turns around and AJ Styles is in the ring, and then both guys come face to face and stare each other down, and then that was the end of SmackDown. So this is fine. I like this. But SmackDown felt very lackluster. The draft has been the same that it's been in years past, and I'm tired of it. Really and truthfully, this draft should have been all about NXT guys getting called up to Raw or SmackDown. You didn't need to draft Bianca. You didn't need to draft Seth Rollins. You didn't need to draft any of your top stars. We should have gotten guys and girls from the mid-card and guys and girls from NXT being sent to Raw or SmackDown. That's what we should have gotten throughout the night for these 4-round draft picks. But we didn't. And it is what it is. There's nothing that can be done about it. Raw's going to be even worse because it is 3 fucking hours. So, yeah. But Cody Rhodes had a solid match with Carmelo Hayes. A solid TV match for Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo should do fine on the main roster. He should do fine for sure. Hopefully he can get some feuds under his belt. I don't know who he could feud with. I don't. But we'll see where that goes. The contract signing involving Cody and AJ was fine. That was good. And everything else on the show just felt like filler. You know, my bad. Carlito turning heel. That felt filler. But other than that, the show itself was okay. It was nothing that was terribly bad. But this felt like a filler episode of SmackDown. I feel like we won't get a complete and utter reset until after Backlash. So that's why we won't get a full reset. Because next Friday is the go-home show for Backlash. So we'll see then. But what did you guys think of SmackDown? Like, comment, and subscribe. Peace.